In the last few hours, we have been reporting on the rise news that a call by the Northern Elders Forum for President Muhammad Buhari to be impeached over his failure to secure the country. A spokesperson, Hakeem Ahmed, says the nation cannot wait 2 more years for Buhari to address the issues of insecurity. Well, he says those who have the responsibility to protect the country must do something other than making promises. Baba Ahmed says partisanship is now so pronounced that lawmakers think they serve the president rather than the Nigerian people.
And for a closer look at these developments, spokesman of the Northern Elders Forum, Hakeem Baba Ahmed, joins us tonight. Good evening and welcome to Newsnight again. Okay, so let's start from the statement by the Northern Elders Forum. You're proposing that the National Assembly should go ahead and impeach the president, and you are fully in support. Help us understand how that will help the nation.
Let me make a slight correction. I offered my opinion, but naturally the media tends to conflate me with the Northern Elders Forum. That's not a problem. I was asked in the context of an interview what options the nation has. Given the fact that the federal government, which has full powers to deal with security issues, has failed to secure Nigerians, and what we see every day is increasing failure of the state to protect people. And I offered a number of options. One, obviously, is that Nigeria should continue to just complain and worry and pray and just hope that our leaders would wake up one day and realize that there's no country to lead anymore because criminals have taken it over. That is not on the card. We will not accept that. And so although it exists as a theoretical option, it is not something that we want to live with, and we will resist it by all legal means. The second one would be that those who have responsibility to get the president to wake up and do something about the security of the country as the chief security officer of the country would do that. There is a very alarming silence from the Nigerian elite, but particularly from legislators who have massive powers to get the president to account for his failures to protect us, and they are not doing that. And that one option would be to put pressure on them to do the needful, which is to say that they have powers to sanction the president, to compel those under him to do better than they're doing. The third option is that we look on our own as citizens on ways in which we can improve the way we live in this country. We can meet, we can discuss how we can improve the way the country is structured, how we can address the future of the country. We can reduce distances, we can reduce problems that exist between regions, we can reduce our own individual and community insecurities. And that is a feasible option, and we are working on that. And that's the only one that I can say, for me, is ongoing and is real. The final one has to do with the president. If he is not going to change the way he approaches our security, there are provisions in the Constitution for him to be elected, and there are also provisions in the Constitution to get him removed. The only two responsibilities assigned governance and governments in this country is to secure citizens and to facilitate their economic welfare. And President Buhari is failing spectacularly, especially in the area of security. Now, what do you do with this kind of situation? We can wait until he ceases to be president in 2 years' time, by which time, by the way things are going, there may be no country because the criminal would have taken over our lives. Or we can find ways in which we can compel him to do better. And if he's not willing to do that, then the constitutional provision for impeaching a president who fails to perform his duties as president should be activated. And that is how the issue about this impeachment came in. It is a perfectly constitutional and democratic mechanism. It is invented there and put there because the Constitution recognizes that presidents are human beings. They can fail to lead. They can be sick. They can die. We had a president who died in power. We can and they can be impeached to the degree that we can prove that they have failed to perform the most basic functions of leadership, which is to protect citizens and protect and allow us to pursue lawful living. I listened to your program just before I came on air, and it's so depressing that the only thing left to do is to say, please God, let Nigerians not get used to this, what is going on. bloodletting, kidnapping, hostilities all over this country. This is something we have never known in this country, and we must never resign ourselves to treating it as the new normal.
Right. You talked about an option, which even just yesterday, about 127 civil society organizations equally put out a statement where they're saying the National Assembly, they should exercise their powers in terms of, instituting, an impeachment proceeding against the president on the basis of the insecurity currently ravaging the country. But I want to talk about your forum. What level of influence, can you say you have or can put forward to really influence the National Assembly to institute that process of having the president impeached if nothing is done?
We are citizens and we speak for citizens, and some millions of citizens listen to us. And there are a number of people who don't like what we say. We will continue to speak. We know that we speak the voice that we speak to millions of millions of Nigerians.
You know how technology makes life easier, but sometimes it's not 100%.
Well, that's so unfortunate because it was making a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
And, we thank you very much, Hakeem Ahmed, spokesperson for the Northern Elders Forum.